It's too thick.
Welcome to the Stay at Home Chef Live, where today we are doing a pizza taste test. We are tasting frozen pizzas, 7 of the most commonly found frozen pizza brands, and it's a blind taste test. You will be able to see which ones we are tasting, but we have no idea. And so all of our comments will be unfiltered, unchecked. Who knows? Today's guest is Chef Chad Pritchard. He is an award-winning chef here in Utah, but he's also won awards in other states as well.
Yep.
How many Best of State awards? 6?
I have 6 Best of State awards. I have an award for Best New American Cuisine, Best Classical French Cuisine, and then my Italian restaurant, Oregano Italian Kitchen in Provo, Utah, 223 East Center Street for all you Utah Countyites and Salt Lake Countyites. We've won 2 years in a row. We've won Best Italian, and this year we won Best Pasta, and I won Best Chef. And then I also won some other awards in Texas.
So if we're going to bring on a legit chef who currently owns a Italian restaurant.
She made me wear a hat today.
What better item to taste test than frozen pizza? He knows what he's talking about when it comes to crust, cheese, pepperoni, sauce. He also has owned several pizza restaurants.
I did. Pizza shops. I've won awards for those. I could think of some things better to taste test than frozen pizza. We could have done a foie gras and caviar taste testing.
But it's hilarious that we have you tasting frozen pizzas. I actually never buy frozen pizzas, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to like the best.
I don't know. They've got this whole. Can we even look at them? Can we see them? I mean, because we've got. They run the gamut of what they look like.
They all look a little bit different. We've cut them all into squares, so we can't really tell the difference. But who knows? I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I would guess that the most expensive one.
I don't know. You hope so. I mean, you hope if you're paying that much money for a frozen pizza.
Because like some of these, I think one was $6.99. That's expensive for a frozen pizza.
And they're probably 12-inch pizzas, so they're not huge.
Yeah, they're. Let's see which one's best. I always make my own frozen pizzas. You can search for that on the stayatHomeChef.com.
You make your own frozen pizza?
I do. That way I make like 10 at a time, freeze them, and then on nights when I...
What do you have enough freezer space for 10?
You know I have like a million fridges and freezers. Okay, we are going to get started with number 1. We will be taking notes along the way so that we know what we're going on. Okay, this one, as far as looks go, the pepperoni on it actually looks decent. I don't know if it actually will be.
The crust is a little strange looking to me.
Oh, yeah, the crust is a bit weird. The cheese doesn't look right. Not a lot of cheese. I forget how much I hate frozen pizza.
I can't believe you're telling me to do this. The sauce is almost flavorless.
Yeah, the sauce doesn't... All I tasted is the pepperoni.
Yeah. And then
the pepperoni itself, not bad. Some pepperoni on frozen pizza is disgusting.
I better try this rest of this later.
Okay. I mean...
It's okay.
With the first one, it's always hard to tell. Like, I'd eat it. I think it's better than, like, Little Caesars.
Well, if you're drunk or high, it's probably fine.
Right? I mean... Who's eating frozen pizzas here? It's like college students. I mean, I don't know. We're going to have to come back to number 1. We always do.
All right, so 1...
I'm going to just write down fine. It was fine. Pepperoni was okay.
Strong pepperoni. Crust was bland.
The crust was also a little chewier than I like. Like, it was kind of...
Yeah.
It was... I don't know.
Sauce was literally flavorless.
Yeah, sauce flavorless. I don't know. I'm actually very curious which one...
There was not even any tang. There wasn't sweetness to it. It was really just
it was sauce. There. It's there. Okay. Number 2. Number 2 actually looks terrible.
Oh my gosh. It looks like
I see some spices.
No, you know what it looks like? Herbs. It looks like it's on a saltine cracker.
It does. Look at the back here. Can you guys see this? It looks like a saltine cracker.
It looks like a mom decided to do the appetizers for their daughter's wedding reception, and she got this off of Pinterest.
That's a pretty good description.
Oh my gosh, it really tastes good either.
The cheese looks disgusting.
It tastes like a saltine cracker.
The crust is terrible. But I can taste the sauce.
Let me flip it upside down.
The sauce actually tastes good. There's some garlic in there.
I don't know.
There's some herbs. Hey, this is frozen. This is frozen pizza.
Hey, you brought me up here because of my expertise on pizza. I'm going to say that there's a little hit of spice to that.
I actually like that it has garlic. Terrible crust. Terrible crust. Saltine cracker. But I thought the sauce was good.
I didn't even really taste the sauce. I tasted...
There was a lot of garlic and herbs.
And the pepperoni had no real
the pepperoni was lame.
I think pepperoni on one was good, but the pepperoni... No bite.
Pepperoni itself was kind of lame. The crust, bad. That was not good crust. Not good crust at all. This next one, number 3, has a lot of sauce. It has a lot of pepperoni on it.
It's a frozen pizza?
It doesn't look like it's a frozen pizza. This looks more like a pizza you'd order.
It's got a rise. It's got some cornmeal on the bottom.
Oh, yeah. This actually looks decent. Like, it looks like I ordered it.
I don't feel like the crust is done, though. Like, was this cooked the correct amount of time?
We cooked everything according to the package directions.
Because it's doughy.
It is a bit doughy. So maybe their package directions could use a little bit more. But as far as if it was cooked all the way through, I still don't like the pepperoni, though. I'm getting that hit of flavor that tastes very processed.
It's like Spam.
Yeah. It's not a good pepperoni.
Like if Spam made pepperoni, that's what it would be.
Yeah. I like the crust, though.
Couldn't have me doing brisket.
Could we taste something good? That'd be so much better if we just tested good stuff.
No, I mean, this is okay.
Like the crust has a rise to it. That's impressive.
I will say that there's some browning on it, which I like. The last two, these ones, I mean, it's white. This one actually has some color on it.
I liked that it had a lot of pepperoni, but I didn't like the pepperoni itself.
Yeah.
It didn't taste good. Okay, this next one, number 4, is one of those ones with the little diced pepperonis.
I can tell you right now.
Also,
I think I know which one this one is going to be. And I'm just going to say, nostalgia purposes, this one will probably win for me.
He's thinking it's the Totino's
I
party
think this
pizza.
one is the Totino's party pizza that I used to buy for 79 cents and roll up like a cigar and eat like a giant pizza burrito.
They're like the cheapest pizzas ever.
Yep.
I don't even know how to describe it because the taste on it is so different than the other ones.
The crust is oily. And so I think when it cooks, because there's a huge amount of fat in it, it almost looks like it fried it.
It does.
The pepperoni is diced.
It's like a little bit soggy from oil on the bottom, but it gives it that chew.
I don't know that that's a bad thing.
I know. It's kind of like, this is really good late night. You just need something dirty to eat.
Soak up alcohol.
And let's be honest, we all have those nights. Sometimes it hits me in the afternoon.
I ate the whole thing.
He doesn't even need to come back to this one.
All right.
I don't know that that's the best pizza.
It's certainly not.
This is Totino's.
It's got to be Totino's.
I'm just going to write down Totino's because I know what that means. It's got the oily crust. And it's cheap.
What'd you say it was? $1.25?
But I mean,
it was 79 cents when I was
But what
in
if
college.
it's not Totino's? That would be surprising. It's the only one with the little square cubes of pepperoni.
Yeah.
I mean, the pepperoni's cheap, the sauce is cheap, the crust is cheap, the cheese is cheap. I don't even know if it's real cheese, but it tastes good. It's the most greasy one by far.
It really is. I mean,
it's greasy. Greasy. Number 5 is a lot like number 3 in that it has it looks like it could be like you ordered some Domino's or something. So it has a lot of cheese.
Listen, frozen pizza companies, up your game and figure out how to make it so your crust is brown. Add a little sugar to it, a little more fat to it, something to turn this crust brown.
We did cook it according to package directions.
Oh, this is crispy.
Oh. The bottom is crispy. I can actually feel it with my fingers. It has a lot of cheese. There's a little bit of spice.
Let me try this sauce.
The pepperoni.
Man, the sauce is actually pretty...
The pepperoni is pretty good, too. The sauce has flavor. The sauce has more of a... It has red pepper flakes in it, for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a sweet flavor. It has more of like this dark kind of sauce.
It's brooding.
It's a broody sauce.
Yes, if this sauce was a movie, it would be like Twilight.
Okay, let me check the cheese.
Robert Pattinson sauce. Sitting in the corner just brooding at us.
The cheese on it is good too. Actually, this is not a bad pizza.
This really is not bad.
I'd probably eat that.
I'd change the way I cooked it, I think. I think I would cook it directly on the rack and not on a pan. That might brown
I'd probably cook it on a pizza stone.
Well, yes.
Or in I'm getting a Camp Chef pizza oven.
Hey, Camp Chef. This guy would like a Camp Chef pizza oven. I know about pizza.
This guy would like a smoker, too.
I know how to smoke food, too.
Whoa. We almost had a bleep, guys. We almost had a bleep. We can't do that live.
I stopped myself. I was going to say schneckums.
That was it, I'm sure.
It's Utah County. We don't say such words like that.
This is Facebook. This is family friendly.
I said...
All right.
I got it right down.
Moving on to number 6. I like that the pepperonis on this are big. I also took the piece that had more pepperoni.
Thanks a lot.
It's my show.
I know, you get to do what you
want.
want.
All right.
Ooh.
I want to try just...
Look at the crust, though. You hear that?
I don't like the pepperoni.
No? Let's taste the pepperoni here.
The pepperoni tastes bland.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a good pepperoni.
No.
But it does have the crust. The sauce.
The sauce has no flavor.
Mm-mm. It tastes very processed.
Everything about it. I mean, I guess, like, what I don't normally say is, like, hey, this needs salt when you're talking about a frozen processed food. But I really feel like everything just kind of needs salt in this one.
Yeah, it's very... I wrote down processed and bland.
Like, there's no flavor. I think the predominant flavor in this pizza is like, and this crust is like Wonder Bread. It's like, if you had to describe, if Wonder Bread was its own flavor, that's what this would be.
Yeah.
Tastes like pizza.
Tastes like Wonder Bread pizza.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to buy a bunch of Wonder Bread and make pizza crust out of it.
Number 7 has a noticeably darker pepperoni.
I'm thinking...
Like it's more red. Like it's a very bright red.
Thick. It's like super thick. Like, I'm afraid like it's so thick that it would turn into jerky.
It tastes like jerky. Like it tastes like, what are those little sticks jerky?
Yeah, Slim Jims. Snap into a Slim Jim.
This tastes like a Slim Jim. The pepperoni on this. I mean, I don't hate Slim Jims. I kind of like them.
We got all these Slim Jims. What are we going to do with them?
Let's cut them up and put them on a pizza. The crust is very soft.
And it looks anemic almost. Like it's just...
Let's look at this. Do you see all the white? Like it doesn't look healthy. Like if this was somebody's skin, I'd be driving them to the emergency room.
It tastes like raw bread dough.
Yeah, it does.
It tastes like when my mom used to make bread, and I used to peel off a pinch of bread dough.
The sauce isn't bad.
The sauce isn't good either.
I mean, we're still comparing frozen pizzas here.
I know.
I mean...
You're right about the pepperoni.
It tastes like a Slim Jim. The hot pepperoni tastes like a Slim Jim. I'm writing that down. Slim Jim. Oh, my pen isn't clicked here. Slim Jim. Soggy crust.
Yeah, for me, that'd be a no-go because of the crust.
Sauce, okay. It's an okay sauce. I have to go back to number 1. We've already eaten all of ours, but I always have to go back to number 1 because I need that comparison.
I gotta finish
the pepperoni, we're fine on number 1.
Oh yeah, this is that one.
Sauce, very bland. We were right on number 1. It's just okay. Okay, so I think that we have a clear winner on this. I mean, well, the only one that we seem to like at all was number 5. He wrote down was good, and I said pretty good.
Let me see what number 5 was.
We're never gonna buy. Okay, Totino's actually came out.
I think Totino's is actually the best.
I think number 5 is our winner, and Totino's is like its own special category.
Honorable mention. Actually, for straight up pizzas, yeah, I think you're right. 5 was the best. I think
number 5 is it.
The crust was good. It was flaky but soft. The sauce is good.
Are we ready for the results?
I think so.
May we have the results? We have to get our man behind the curtain to come out and hand us the results here. This is really a blind test. We have no idea. I mean, we could guess on Totino's.
The man.
Okay, number 1, which we thought was fine, was Tony's.
Okay. That's
number 2, that had the saltine cracker crust, was California Pizza Kitchen.
I knew it! They're
That's
terrible.
Interesting. Oh, he's bringing us the boxes, too, so we can look and see the ingredients.
CPK, you need to up your game.
Okay, so, CPK. The thing is, you know, it's California Pizza Kitchen. I like California Pizza Kitchen. I love they actually have this vodka pasta that's delicious. I don't know what, I love their pasta.
Can I make a confession?
You've never eaten that?
I've never eaten a California
That doesn't
Pizza
surprise
Kitchen.
me at all. That's so chefy. That's so chefy.
I never had the opportunity.
I think this was the most expensive pizza, too.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's the name brand. That's the creme de la creme, if there is one, of frozen pizzas.
Wouldn't buy it. Wouldn't buy
Sadly.
it. Okay, Tony's was number 1. This actually looks like I think that the box kind of gives it a cheap look to it. Like, I wouldn't buy it just because it looks cheap. But we thought it was okay. It's
so
just
Tony's,
very bland.
When I was a kid, we bought 2 frozen pizzas. If I was a kid, I would either bought the Totino's, little guy, or I bought Tony's when I wanted to splurge. And then we would add our own crap out of the fridge to it.
Yeah, everyone's always adding stuff to their frozen pizzas, right? This one, it does say 100% real cheese. And the sauce is made from real tomatoes.
Well, I mean, it has to be, right?
Well, they do make fake cheese.
That's true, they do.
And it's gross. It's very chewy. Okay, so we thought Tony's was okay, though. Like, it was okay. California Pizza Kitchen, no thank you. DiGiorno, it does say rising crust on there.
And that was the one that I said rising crust.
It has a rising crust. It has a lot of pepperoni on it, but it's bad pepperoni.
And I think their gimmick was the rising crust, but it doesn't get cooked all the way.
You need more cooking time for sure. The cooking time on this isn't accurate. It cooks directly on the rack.
Did you cook it on the rack?
We follow directions here.
Except the bruschetta.
Bruschetta cooked on a pan. Okay, so the DiGiorno, it has good packaging though. I feel like this has good branding, but I think it's a little tricky. Because the pepperoni on it, I mean, this looks like a high quality pizza.
It does, but the
pepperoni was terrible.
It does not taste like a high quality pizza.
Okay, number 4 was exactly what
Hooray!
we thought it was.
Oh, they've gone to the cellophane wrapper on these now.
Totino's Party Pizza.
They used to come in the
this is in its own
cardboard box.
It's its own special category. Well, it's got to be. They got to keep price down.
That's right. Let's call this nostalgia. Is what this wins the award for most nostalgic pizza.
And maybe most bang for your buck.
I think so. I think for
you can find this for less than $1. Like
I think you could still get them like at Walmart for 99 cents.
I'm not gonna hate it. I mean, it's different than all the other pizzas. It's like oily, greasy. It's trash food, and I'm not afraid to admit that I eat trash food. I'm wearing donut pants. Clearly,
it's true.
Clearly, I'm into this.
You know you're serious.
Okay, number 5, our winner,
Red Baron.
Red Baron.
Hooray!
This is the product we are recommending from today's taste test. Is Red Baron pizza?
You know, that was a good pizza. I mean, the crust was on point. It was crispy, and it'd probably been sitting for how long? 20 minutes? 10 minutes?
10.
I mean, it was still crispy. The cheese was good. The sauce was... I think the sauce could have had a little more spice to it, but...
It was good, and I like the
bad.
packaging. I always examine the packaging on this because I feel like we make a lot of our decisions in the grocery store based on packaging. And it's good packaging, and it's not misleading. The pepperoni pizza, they advertise that it's made with pork, chicken, and beef, and it was good pepperoni.
I think so.
I would buy this.
And Red Baron, I mean, he's a very dashing gentleman. I mean, look at him. I mean, he looks like you can trust
handsome
that guy.
guy.
He's a handsome fella.
I would recommend this over like a Little Caesars pizza.
Yeah, but it wasn't the Red Baron like the villain in World War One?
I don't know who the Red Baron was. Maybe
I'm pretty
I think he was
certain.
a hero.
No, I don't think he was a hero. I think he.
Somebody should let us know.
I think he
in
was
the
a
comments.
pilot from Germany, and he shot down a bunch of. Yes, Ammon confirms it.
Okay,
So-
we have an interesting notation on number 6 from our assistant with the taste test. Number 6 was Freshetta. We commented that it didn't have enough salt, but according to the nutrition label, this had the second highest sodium content of all the pizzas.
Wow.
Do we know which was number 1?
I think it was the Red Baron.
Red Baron.
That's probably why it tasted so good.
That's true. Salt is a flavor enhancer. It has a
Just
use.
because, but the other thing too is just because it had the second most sodium, still doesn't mean that there was enough sodium in it, enough salt on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I skipped.
No, you didn't. We had 5. Did we miss 2? What was 2?
We missed 6. We missed 6.
We haven't gone to 6 yet. We're still on 5.
Red Baron was 5.
Red Baron was 5. Freshetta was...
But 6 is
Oh,
Tombstone. Oh my gosh, we got it
Tombstone.
wrong. Okay, we Tombstone. It wasn't Freshetta, guys. It was Tombstone that had the second most salt content.
Yes, and it was the one... Tombstone was the one that was
And it just
no
comes
flavor.
in a wrapper, so all we have is...
Super bland.
But you know what? This doesn't even come in a box.
But
it
do
comes
you
in the
remember?
wrapper.
Do you remember the old commercial? The old commercial was like, "It tips the scales at almost 2 pounds." Remember those commercials?
I think I used to buy these. I bought these a lot in college.
Did you?
They were cheap. I think that these are actually pretty inexpensive. I mean,
Maybe-
the packaging.
Maybe with all that salt, maybe it's aptly named Tombstone. And they
Sorry, Freshetta, for
eat this and you'll die.
being wrong on this. Freschetta's the one with the Slim Jim.
Yes!
Freshetta tastes like a Slim Jim.
And the crust tasted raw.
It was soggy.
It was just not that
It
good.
wasn't good. But I kind of like the Slim Jim pepperoni. Like, it's pretty good.
Okay, I'm not
I
mad.
mean, it just tastes like
You're looking at a
it
guy
tastes
who
like
will
something.
take pepperonis at my restaurant. I'll throw them in the fryer and crisp them up and make them,
They taste good.
deliciousness.
Okay,
Dip
so
them
it
in
was
some ranch
Freshetta. That is our Slim Jim flavoring. But it's funny because I feel like Freshetta does a good job with commercials and stuff. And like, oh, this is a high-end frozen pizza.
They used to have
Get
a.
Freshetta,
They
it's
actually
like-
used to have a franchise at BYU
Really?
in their Cougar Eat. They used to sell, but now they've
Oh, they
changed
sold
it.
Freshetta pizza. Well, honestly, not that great.
Papa
Red
John's is
Baron,
better now.
which I feel like I never see advertisements for Red Baron.
Maybe they don't need them. It's so good, it
So
sells
good
itself.
they don't need to advertise.
Yeah, it's deliciousness wrapped up in a frozen box. Get it at your
Convenience.
local grocery store in the frozen section.
I make my own frozen pizzas. If you want to make them, you can get the recipe from me.
And I make real unfrozen pizzas.
He just makes real pizzas. I'm a busy mom, guys.
She really is.
busy. And so instead of like grabbing the frozen pizza or grabbing some random crap from McDonald's, I mean, McDonald's has its place. I'm not gonna lie, their hash browns have a special place in my heart. But I feel good if I feed my kids a from scratch meal, and so I always have something in the freezer. Something. A lot
Even
of times-
a restaurant guy, doesn't feed our kids a from scratch meal all the time. Last night
I
they
do.
Had, they had
My kids have
pastaroni.
eaten at McDonald's. They've eaten places. But I feel better if I make my own.
Oh, you should.
Especially, I just feel better. But if you're going to buy a frozen pizza, here it is. Here is our winner from our taste test today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. We will both check out the comment section after this and answer any questions you might have.
I'll take my hat off now.
I made him wear the costume.
Put my real hat back.
Next week, you should join us for Facebook Live. It's every week on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, which is where I live. That would be 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 Central, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you live outside the United States, I don't know your time zone, so you're going to have to figure that out on your own.
2 o'clock in the Maritimes.
Something like that. Figure it out. It starts at 10 a.m. Pacific. Figure it out from there. You should join us next week. I will be bringing you a special episode where we will be doing our own mean tweets with comments that have been left for bloggers. You are going to love this episode. You don't want to miss it. So catch us next week. Thanks to Chad for joining us today.
Thanks for the nice
I've
lunch.
linked to him. You can always find our live show information at thestayathomechef.com/live. And we will see you next week. Thanks for joining us.
Ciao.